This world, yeah, is going up in flames. Hopefully Chelsea's not going up in flames, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Football Therapy. With me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well. I really do hope that. And welcome back to, of course, Chelsea News. The daily series, every single day here on Football Therapy, where I see what's being said about the Blues, giving you my opinion on it. More importantly, asking for yours. And today we're discussing new ownership, of course. The hot topic at Chelsea Football Club. Who's leading the race? Who decides who wins the race? Will Boris and the gang accept the Saudi money? And also a new kit to look at, which is exciting. So it's going to be a good video. I hope you're ready for a good video. And if you are, drop a like on said video. It means a lot. It takes a second, and you're all welcome to subscribe should you choose to do so. And remember, if you are subscribed or you are subscribing now, it's important that bell switched on so you do get notified, so you friends don't miss a video. That's important. Right, I'm just going to quickly get something up here on the screen for y'all, and we're going to look at this. Beep, 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 boop, boo. Chelsea's third kit to be gold and black next season. Leaked on footy headlines, who are of course generally never wrong. We always wanted a gold and black kit, and you see all these wonderfully talented, often young designers over social media that build these incredible edits of theoretical prospective Chelsea kits, and the black and gold ones always look so chef's kiss. Beautiful. And you think, these guys, how are these guys not working for Nike, not working for the club, you know, making these kits that just look, that everyone universally says incredible. And instead, we get other kits from Nike. Now look, I don't want to slag this one off. In fact, I like it. You know, it looks fine. It's different. It's you know, it's, what do they call it? They call it, it says here, look, sesame gold. Do we want sesame gold? I mean, it's better than a lot of third kits we've had. I actually really liked that one we had a few years ago under Lampard. I didn't buy it, but with the weird collar, I thought it was kind of cool and different. A lot of people like this season's third kit. It's not my fave, but this is nice. I mean, will the free be there? I mean, I think they probably will be. I think once the new owner comes in, Free will unfreeze their sponsorship deal, I assume. But, yeah, I mean, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. I think it's quite cool. I think also, everyone says this with every kit. But I think on the players, once you see it, you'll be like, yeah, you know what? That looks cool. I don't know about the orange trim on the sleeves, but we move. And let's move on and talk about Chelsea news. We can talk about who's leading the bid, and that is, spoiler, the consortium of Todd Boehly and Hans-Jörg Wyss. We'll talk about that in a second. I just want to reflect on a new story that surfaced yesterday, that it's not going to be the government, probably, who chooses who Chelsea will be taken over by. Whether the club will even get a say, you'd feel like, you would assume, you would speculate that Chelsea should have a say. Like, whether it's the board or whether it's the supporters trust, maybe even the pitch owners, people were just consulted like, are you okay if this guy buys you? Because like, we want to, unless you have like some major reservations and you can prove why this is catastrophic, we're going to bring this guy in. You know, they should at least be consulted. But apparently it's the Raine Group, who are, of course, or the Raine Group present who they deem the best bidders, or the most appropriate bidders, to its governing bodies, these external governing bodies, and say, look, we think these guys are the best. What can they go through? We're going to like circle this guy should buy Chelsea. What do you think? There needs to be due process here, because this is like a multi-billion pound institution, cultural institution in footballing history now. Chelsea wasn't formed in 2003. Chelsea's over 100 years old. And yeah, and they were good in the 90s, people forgot. Anyway, so I'm going to reference a tweet here, or some tweets, from a guy called Nicola Imfield, at Nicola_Imfield, who Matt Law actually referenced as a good source of information in regards to the Chelsea takeover, that his information was good. So yeah, a tweet from him, #breaking. After some talks over the weekend in Los Angeles with Todd Boehly, Swiss billionaire Hans-Jörg Wyss is now on his way back to Boston. It's unclear what the two of them discussed. Breaking. Two men had conversation. About what? Don't know. Breaking news there. It's unclear what they discussed. The bid is to acquire Chelsea is already in. No deal will happen this week. So the bid's in. Bids are in by Friday. Best bids in by Friday, ladies and gentlemen. 2 days left. 2 days left. The Boehly and this consortium bid was already in, and by all accounts it's been in for a while. It's been reported to be between 2.2 and 2.5 billion pounds, which is a lot, which is certainly seemingly enough considering the financial landscape and how Chelsea is a little bit fire-saily. But the truth is, 150 to 200 people expressed interest. A good handful of people who actually probably could buy Chelsea have stepped up. So therefore, there probably is a little bit of a bidding war. But remember, guys, one thing we've learnt here is that it's not who spends most. This is not just a buyer buying something that someone's selling. Give us the most money. There is other things being considered here. If it was just money, then absolutely, if we are to believe the 2.7 billion pound opening bid from Saudi media, that would be swiped up already. And if you said to them, can we have 3 billion, please, and you can buy them, they'd probably do it. Maybe. So if it was just about money, those guys would be in. So it goes on from a tweet yesterday from Infield. Goes to a two-part tweet. I'll read it now. I'm told from multiple sources that the Swiss-American consortium is not concerned about the bid from the Saudi consortium, which of course is Saudi media. The UK government still sees Swiss billionaire Hans-Jörg Wyss, US businessman Todd Boehly, and real estate tycoon Jonathan Goldstein, who of course was like the mysterious third member that no one knew about, has now come to the fore. The second part of the tweet, as frontrunners. So they're seen as frontrunners, this consortium. Their bid is previously reported in the region of 2.5 billion pounds. They don't expect a deal to be done this week. So it's bids in by Friday. The deal isn't expected to be done this week. Motto seems to be, let's just sit back and wait. So before we talk about the Saudis, let's reflect on that. Leading candidates. And I'm okay with that. Yes, people don't like Hans-Jörg Wyss because he's an old man who said some bad stuff about Roman Abramovich, but ultimately, and he doesn't like football particularly. Yes, none of that is great, but he's just part of the consortium. The leading man would, by all accounts, be American businessman Todd Boehly, who knows how to develop a business, who knows how to develop and nurture a football club brand, who wants to win, who wants to compete, and by all accounts, will spend money. Honestly, at the moment, if I am thinking about realistic, if I'm thinking about what's best for Chelsea, and I mean that in protecting Chelsea in terms of PR and stuff, I think they're probably the best. I don't trust... I think Nick Candy's come out with a lot of positive stuff. I just don't trust it being true. And a lot of people don't like him. I listened to the Chelsea podcast this morning. Great podcast. One of many good Chelsea podcasts. And Andy on there was saying how he's met Nick Candy and he thinks he's a bit of a knob. And I sort of trust his words, really. He's also meant to be a bit of a Tory donator as well. I don't know. I think he probably would be welcomed in. But... in terms of my gut feeling, and I'm not heavily educated on who and when and what should come in, but what I'm feeling in terms of what's best, they feel like they could be best. And bearing in mind, lots of you guys, and I don't blame you, everyone's allowed to have their opinion. Just because you don't have the same opinion as me, I'm not going to judge you. But a lot of people just want the money and don't care where it comes from. And this is not about whataboutery. Yeah, but the Americans have done this historically now. It's about, no, with the Saudi government, what they're doing right now and how they almost exist. It's almost like an existential thing, how they are. And it's about sports washing and it's about soft power play. The Americans don't need to sports wash and they don't need soft power play in the UK. That's the dangers. What we need to do is protect Chelsea and ensure this doesn't happen again. Who knows? Newcastle might be next for sanctions. But, or that's what we could have assumed. But, of course, another spanner in the works is, it's boring getting political, but the whole situation with our UK government getting cozy with the Saudis. Does that make it any more palatable? They were bearing in mind the UK government was cozy with the Russians. And I've said it before. The government welcomed in Roman Abramovich. Come in, mate. And if they're doing that, do that with the Saudis, what's to stop what's happening to Chelsea now happening to Newcastle down the line? Or happening to Chelsea down the line in terms of sanctions and problems? Do you want that? Do you just not want safety, stability, a good structure, a sound structure? Look at PSG. In terms of what they've done, a state-owned club, chucked loads of money in. They've bought two of the best players in the world, well, three with Mbappe, but, you got you got Neymar and Messi both being booed by their fans in their last league game. It's just an absolute crap show of a club. What about some people that come in and just want to build the club appropriately? Anyway, I've rambled on too long about that. Let's move on. Let's talk about. So I'm going to cite some information here from an article from Daniel Kahn on Football.London. The Prime Minister alongside the UK's Sport Minister have both been speaking about the country's relationship with Saudi Arabia and the importance of it. Of course, hot, really, really relevant in terms of Saudi media making a bid with Chelsea at the moment. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has given his indirect approval already to the Saudi media's takeover bid for Chelsea, with his relationship admission between the UK and Middle Eastern partners. This follows on Nigel Huddleston's recent admission on Saudi Arabia, which has both been bolstered and boosted by Saudi media's claimed $2.7 million bid to take over from Roman Abramovich. So I don't think they're speaking directly in terms of Saudi media buying Chelsea, but they're talking about the relationship between the UK and Saudi Arabia. The likes of Nick Candy and Todd Boehly's consortium, amongst a few others, have been heavily touted around the English press the last few weeks. But Mohammed Al-Khareji, I still don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, and his Al Saud's bid has gone slightly under the radar so far. Well, apart from me doing a big video on it, going $3.5 billion bid on YouTube in my YouTube thumbnail, With regards to Saudi media's rumoured interest in buying Chelsea, CBS Sports claims that there is support in finding funding and partners, brackets but not financial backing, from Mohammed bin Khalid Al Saud. It is also understood that the English media, that a rather unknown consortium, have a long way to go before submitting an official offer to the Raine Group before the Friday's bid deadline surpasses. Interesting. I'll read a little bit more. However, they will be rather encouraged by what's been said by Johnson and Huddleston regarding the important relationship this country has with Saudi Arabia and the need for it to continue in a strong matter in the near and long-term future. Speaking in a special media interview in the United Arab Emirates, the Prime Minister indirectly fueled the Saudi media's hopes of buying Chelsea with his direct admission about their country. By the way, I'm not going to go into the geopolitics, but we know what Saudi Arabia are doing at the moment in terms of beheadings, bombings, war crimes, no human rights, etc. He said, quote, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates are key international partners because you've broken up with Russia and now you haven't got an oil bay. We have long-standing relationships with this part of the world, and we need to recognize the very important relationship that we have. Huddleston, despite agreeing with the sanction made against the Russian oligarch, just like Johnson, also spoke highly of the current relationship dynamics with Saudi Arabia when posed a difficult question about Newcastle's Saudi owners. He said, the UK's relationship with Saudi Arabia is really important. We welcome Saudi Arabian investment just as they welcomed Roman Abramovich. Many jobs in the UK are dependent on our relationship with the Saudis, but we take the opportunity to talk frankly and openly with Saudi Arabia. We can have a frank exchanges because of the nature of our relationship. Basically saying, look, we are good mates. Oh my God, help us. Can we have some fuel? Can we have some money? We know we've got the Premier League, one of our most precious, shiny exports that you guys are interested in because the whole world is interested in. Are we going to protect this structural, historical, cultural integrity of our league, of our historic footballing culture, and build from within? Or are we just going to accept loads of money in? Yes, you might say, this, coming from a Chelsea fan, you've enjoyed Roman Abramovich's money. Yes, I have. But, do we have to just constantly accept the highest bidder and not think of the ramifications? Is that what I'm supposed to do? It's my birthday today. I'm 33 years old. I'm not asking for people to wish me a happy birthday. I'm just saying, the older I get, the more introspective and reflective I get. And everyone does as they get older. And I'm starting to have this existential crisis of what do I want Chelsea to be? What is Chelsea? What was it when I was growing up when, my dad's a Chelsea supporter and I was used to say, I love Zola. Do you know what I mean? What is it now? What is the Premier League? And what is the ramifications of all inclusions of any money? Am I going to stop supporting Chelsea if we get taken over by Saudi media and they get proven to have direct links to the Saudi government? No, because it's not fair to ask me to do that. But can I feel uncomfortable with it? Absolutely. But as things stand, it looks like the leading bidders are the Boehly consortium. I do think if Saudi media get through, it's going to be turbulent, absolutely turbulent. Even if they get proven to be a private company. I will support Chelsea in all of its endeavours, and at the end of the day, I completely understand what's probably going to be most of your stances. The Premier League let in Roman Abramovich. So we, as fans, have been told it's okay. We've let him in. You can support your club and enjoy the money because we've told you it's okay. And if they do that, you're allowed to take that stance. And if they do that again with any new owners, especially after the turbulent times, you are allowed to take that stance. Anyway, I've gone on for ruddy ages. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Please do drop a like and consider subbing if you're new. See you soon.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.